All right, team, we're back for another episode on the Weight Loss for Women 40 Plus podcast with Josh. Now you can hear I sound a little bit shitty, sound a little bit sick, because I am. Anyway, I saw my nephew, and he was a little bit sick, and now we got it. So I thought it'd be a good time to go over when you're losing weight. What do you do when you're sick? Because there's some people like, oh, you just got to rest, you got to take it easy, you've got to do this, you got to do that. And it can be a point where people just absolutely write off the whole journey. They get so far out of their normal routine that they find it hard to get back into their routine. And actually, funny we say that. I was talking to a lady yesterday who just started the VIP program, and she would say, look, the biggest challenge that she has, she's got young kids, they go to school, got daycare, all that kind of stuff. And she's like, when the household gets sick, that's when she falls off track. So she would be going well, the habits are in place, and the kids get sick, she gets sick, partner gets sick, and then everything just goes to shit. The food's different, they're ordering takeaway, Uber Eats. So she finds that every month or so, there's a sickness that rips through, and it just throws the routine out of place. Now, which tells us she has a very fragile routine as is. If it takes just one little speed bump to throw someone off track, then the routine itself is probably not the most sustainable one. So we worked out that it's going to happen again. If it's been happening all year, it's going to happen for the rest of the year. So we've actually allowed for that derailing of sickness in the family to be part of her plan. We're like, okay, so when this happens, this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to run you through what to do when you're sick, how to stay on track, how to not blow out, get off routine, derail, and put all the weight back on. So the first thing we've got to identify is, what is the level of sickness? Now for me, it's just a little bit of temperature, runny nose, I don't sound amazing. I'm still going to be working today, I'm still going to work out, I'm still going to go for a walk. So if it's something simple, just like that, you actually don't need to change anything. You're going to keep the same routine. Everything's going to be the same. Now, you're not going to be doing everything as intensely, but there's absolutely no fucking reason why the food should change. Just because you're feeling a little bit under the weather isn't a hall pass to go eat like a fucking asshole and do whatever the fuck you want. Now you're an adult, you can, but it is definitely not the wise move here. So obviously I'm going to be searching for things to make me feel a little bit better. So I'm going to be going for warmer foods. I was just having a hunt around for some tea. Things like that, warm drinks just to help with the throat, things like that. Now that's not going to throw me off track. That's like, I still have a calorie target I need to hit. I still need to hit my protein. And whether I feel like it or not, the goal still has to be done. Like, I still need to achieve the goals I want to achieve. So I'm not going to let a little bit of sickness get in the road of my goal. And I hear people all the time like, well, I just don't feel like eating. I don't feel like going for a walk. I don't feel like doing the workout. I'm like, cool, don't get the results then. Like, we're all big enough and ugly enough to understand that as an adult, if we don't do it, it's not going to happen for us. Nobody's going to do it for us. And just feeling like not eating, it's such a baby excuse. It's like, oh, I don't feel like it. I'm like, yeah, cool. Welcome to fucking being an adult. You do things every day that you don't want to do for other people. And when it comes to you, you might not do the things. I'm like, that is insane. That is absolutely fucking insane. You do things for people at work, you do things for people at home that you don't want to do, but you do it regardless. You do the dishes, you pick up after your kids, you clean the house, you do all these other things. Why can't you just do something for you? It doesn't take that much effort to eat the fucking food. If your job is you've got to eat a certain amount of calories and you don't eat the calories in the day, you're not going to boost the metabolism and just flat out not going to help yourself. Like, if you're sick and then you just don't eat, what do you think that's going to do to your body? Your body's like, hey, I'm really sick right now. I need to improve my immune function. I need to pump out a ton of white blood cells to help the body heal. It's going to require resources. And when I say resources, calories and proteins and carbs and fats. So if you go from eating your normal calories to then just eating one meal a day, you are literally prolonging the sickness. You're going to make it worse for yourself. So even though you don't feel like it, you're like, oh, I don't really feel like it, I have a bit of a low appetite, don't be a baby. Eat the bloody food. It should be no different to the days that you're doing well. Because if you're not that sick to not go to work, then you can eat your food. Now, if you're absolutely bedridden and just like completely fucked over because of your sickness, now we're talking about a different story there. We're talking about you need to actually recover and go to sleep and rest it off. But if you're well enough to go to work, you're not that sick to get off your meal plan or to get off your weight loss plan. Like that's just a crazy fucking excuse to me. Absolutely ridiculous. Now with your walks and your workouts, you're not going to be expected to work out at 100% intensity as normal. Like I'd be going between 50 to 75% of my intensity. So if I normally work out for 60 minutes a day, maybe I'm going to do a half an hour workout. Now, instead of going balls to the wall hard, I'm going to go between 50 to 75% intensity. So I might have a little bit longer rest breaks. I'll lift a little bit lighter potentially. Now, me personally, like I'm still going to go as heavy as I can. I'm still going to do as much as I physically can in that workout because I understand that it's just a real small temporary sickness. And you going hard in your workout isn't actually going to make you any worse. Now, if you're doing super high intensity stuff, then yeah, I would back a little bit. But if you're just doing weights at the gym or weights at home, you're probably not pushing yourself that far where you're going to make anything worse. Now, the step target, let's talk about steps for a second. Let's say you're aiming for 8,000 steps a day. Maybe you don't go for a full 45, 60-minute walk. Maybe you break it up into some 10, 15, 20-minute blocks. But you can still hit this target. Sickness is just such a weak excuse. Unless, like if you're going to work, but you're not following your plan, that's just, come on. Like that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. If I hear my clients doing that, I'm like, are you fucking serious? Come on. Like, let's be honest. Now, if you're that sick that you have to be staying at home, that's a different level of game plan. You're going to scale everything back. You're going to focus on getting the food in. You're going to focus on getting enough nutrients in the body, and you're probably not going to do much movement. If you're bedridden, stay in bed until you can get up and go for walks. But again, I'm driving this home on purpose multiple times. If you are going to work, you can stick to the plan. It's not going to be as intense, but we can still get the food right. We can still do all those things. We don't need a whole pass just to eat like shit. Oh, I'm sick, so I should have like shitty food and comfort food. I'm like, well, you can, but how is that helping you? Because you're not just going to get sick once a year. You're probably going to get sick multiple times a year. So you're giving yourself multiple hall passes to just write yourself off. And then what happens? Let's look at the flow-on effect. All right, let's say you eat like shit, you don't exercise, you put yourself in a calorie surplus, you gain 3-4 kilos. Now, let's say you've gained 3 kilograms over the next couple of weeks, 3 kilograms in 3 weeks. So that's taken 3 weeks to gain that weight. Now it might take you another 6 weeks to lose that weight. So you gain 3 kilograms in 3 weeks, you lose half a kilogram a week over the next 6 weeks. So let's say we use even numbers, 100 to 103, and then half, all the way down to 100. That is 9 weeks just to be at the exact same position as when you started when you got sick. This is why people don't lose weight. It takes them forever to lose weight because they go up weight very quickly. It takes them a long time to lose it, and they're at exactly the same place. 100 to 103 down to 100 again, 9 weeks. We're talking 2 whole months of the year just to be exactly at the same spot. Do you think that's worth it? Absolutely not. Is that worth it? So that's why I'm like, put in the effort, keep the routines in place, keep eating the food, do the movement, reduce the intensity while you're sick. Because if that weight goes up and you're not losing a kilogram a week after that, which you're probably not, you're probably losing half a kilogram a week or less, it's going to take you 2 months just to get back to where you originally were. And we call that recycling weight. You're losing and gaining the same kilograms over and over and over again. and you get to the end of the year and you've lost no bloody weight. So it is not worth it. That's why we've got to stick to the routines. Unless you're bedridden and absolutely fucked, you're going to dial everything back. But that is not the case for 95% of people. That is not the case for me right now. Yeah, I'm a little bit sniffly. Yeah, things aren't amazing. But I'm still going to do my work. I'm still going to do the podcast. I'm going to still do the calls today. Still going to do the check-ins. I'm going to do everything as normal. I'm just going to dial it back a little bit, split my walks up, eat the food, try find some remedies, smash some medicine if I need to, but we're going to stick to the plan because I don't want the plan to take 3 times longer than it has to. So that's what we're going to do. All right, ladies, nice and simple. Now, if you're getting stuck with these routines, maybe you don't know how to put this into play. Maybe you're like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going through right now. I'm losing and gaining the same weight over and over again. Maybe you're sick of it. If you are sick of it, potentially it's time for some outside help. Potentially time to go, you know what? I've been battling with weight for more than 12 months. Trial and error is just not getting me anywhere. Maybe it's time to get some help. That's why we run the VIP transformation program. So for women 40 plus, they want to lose the weight, get the skills, get the knowledge, and then maintain their weight all the way through menopause, through their 50s, through their 60s, and beyond. To get in touch with us, very easy. Jump on Instagram, Josh Humphreys. Hit me up. Oh, I'm going to sneeze in a second. All right, I think I can hold it. Josh Humphreys on Instagram. Send us a message. Hey, listening to the podcast, I feel like you guys can help me out. And if you want to learn more, we'll ask you a couple of questions. Want to shortcut the process? www.blissbodyu.com.au. Fill out an application form on the website. That'll come to us. We'll reach out to you. All right. If you love the podcast, make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're subscribing. If you're on YouTube, give it to your mum, give it to your sister, give it to your work colleagues, give it to your friends. Get them the help that they need. All right. Lots of love. Go kick some goals. I'll catch you in the next one.